Thank you, Rabbi. First, they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. These were the words that were penned by the Reverend Martin Niemöller, a German Lutheran pastor who penned these words in response to the horrors that he witnessed in Nazi Germany and the complacency of the German people to the brutality that was going on around them. It's in that same spirit that we gather here this evening, gathered together as neighbors and family and friends to speak out against anti-Semitism, racism, and all forms of hate. For when one member of the family hurts, we all hurt. Tonight, we're all Jews. We gather together to pray, to remember, and to stand up against hatred, prejudice, intolerance, anti-Semitism, and all forms of racism. Those who gathered together at the synagogue in Pittsburgh last Saturday morning gathered together to pray and to offer worship to God. It could have been any one of us. But one thing was different. They were targeted for who they were. This was not just an incident of random gun violence. This was directed at them because they were Jews. And we ask ourselves, how does one learn to hate? We're not born to hate. We learn to hate, to fear what is unknown. That hatred is instilled in a person in their homes by the words and comments and jokes that they tell, by what they read and what they hear. That hatred is fed by evil images and words that dehumanize a group so that they're no longer a part of us, but become a member of them. Fear, hate, anger, and intolerance are all ingredients in the recipe that leads to violence and death. But there's a different way, a way to combat hatred. That's the way of love. To see someone of a different race or nationality or religion or culture, not as someone to be feared, but to see the person as a fellow human being and a fellow friend. When we learn about one another and each other's customs and culture and religious beliefs, they stop being the other and become another. Another member of our family, another person who deserves respect and dignity, another member in our circle of friends. We all have the obligation to call out hate when we see it, to not fall victim to slogans and phrases and chants that try to separate us into factions. May our gathering here tonight strengthen us in our resolve to stand up to all forms of hatred, to work for a more just society, to heal the wounds of our times, and to recognize the divine presence in each and every person. We pray for those who have died, for their families mourning their loss, and for ourselves, for the courage to carry on to build a society of peace, understanding, and love. May those who have died, may their memory be a blessing.
Beautiful, thank you.